Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. Can you state your grievance?
Okay. My grievance really comes in two parts. The first one is our buddy down here. And you've already got the pictures. Pictures were taken during, two were taken last summer, two were taken one during March and one during February. They were under no routine. I have people that work for me that came down to maintain the property, and when they arrived, they saw these levels of geese. The geese were not a problem during the summer of 2016. They became a severe problem in the summer of 17, which of course is after the date that I can appeal my assessment. It's not a lot of fun to have this much money invested in a piece of property and not be able to use it. I mean, imagine not having your grandchildren being able to go down to the lake, because if they run around on that lawn, they're going to track that stuff into the house. And the average goose defecate 2 pounds a day. 2 pounds a day. Can you imagine how big that is if you have 100 to 200 geese on your property? And literally one day they can blank you out for using it for a week. And then of course we have to rake out or blow out or whatever we do to get rid of the remains. Some people have told me this is a health hazard to have that much defecation in one place like this. So, what do I do about it? Well, we tried 2 levels of fishing line around the property. One at the shoreline, and then one about 20 feet, maybe 25 feet inside the shoreline. It took the geese about 30 seconds to figure out they can just fly over the top of it, and they did. It created a lot of work just laying the line, because we did it around the entire property more than just the shoreline. And also, it creates havoc when you go to mow the lawn. Our assessor visited the property last summer. I didn't know it was going to be looked at, but I happened to meet her at the property. And I'm going to quote her. She said, "This property is a mess. It is an absolute mess." Now, for somebody paying $140,000 in real estate taxes, to have their property called a mess is pretty disheartening. But yet, I get no help. So on their application, you're going to see there, I would assume that hiring somebody at $20 an hour and 100 hours a week, that it would be effective. But I should take it off my tax bill. I don't think it's a burden that I have to endure by myself. And if I'm successful, the thing you got to think about is, where are those geese going to go? Maybe they're going to go to Rick's house, maybe not, he doesn't have a lot of lawn frontage, but they're going to go up the lake or down the lake, and somebody else is going to have the problem. The thing about last year, which is also disheartening, is this problem began to exist after June 1st. So my assessment period was already established. So now I have all this damage to my property, and I can't change my assessment. I have to pay the full year's taxes. Now, off the geese for a minute. I do have a little history with talking to the assessor and people that work for me talking to the assessor. 2 years ago, we asked for some sort of ruling. My property is divided into 3 lots. The houses on the center lot, the north lot, and the south lot are empty. And they're taxed individually. So my question, in my opinion, very logically was, if it was all one property, what would that do to the assessment? I would think it would lower it, because if it's all one property, your land value for just being secondary lawn versus saleable real estate is much different. Well, we asked for this, and we had this conversation 2 years ago. We haven't had a response of any kind.
Excuse me, no, we're not going to get into this. This is not an open forum. This is a day to grieve your property tax. Documentation, document it. We will take the information. We will sit down and we'll see if according to the rules that are in place, we have to live with those rules.